Let the show begin. Oh yes, we're back, folks. It's episode 175 of This World Blows, the comedy podcast. For anyone out there who thinks this is a hateful podcast, no, it's a comedy podcast. I do hate the world, yes, but I'm converting my hate into comedy, guys. It's actually like it's green energy. Turning my green envy into product to sell to you. So if you're new here to this show, welcome. We have this brand new set that was repurposed. Previously it was well, I guess I'll just show you what it was. I broke my foot a year ago and I was stuck bored, so I bought an elderly person's scooter and I created this shell around it to ride around the neighborhood and confuse people, which it did. And then after my foot healed, I had no use for it. So now it is the current set, and yes, it does look like shit. That's kind of the idea at this point, because I'm not trying to falsely represent us, as a podcast. This is the state we are in. And as I've said in previous episodes, if we grow in listeners, I will upgrade. We will grow, but we're not going to be dishonest like a lot of podcasters and have fake sets with weird knickknacks. There's certainly no need. So this is what you get, you guys. This is what you deserve at this point. And that should be a lesson to you. If you want to see something better visually speaking, you're going to have to share this podcast, preferably with people that don't know me. Because if you're sharing this with someone who does know me, that means you're clearly just talking shit about me. Okay, so last episode we ended, the last topic we ended on was this guy Fusi, and I was talking about Hassan Minhaj and Andrew Schultz, and on that episode was my brother Ben, and we had both just recently listened to an episode of Red Bar where he talked about Hassan Minhaj and Andrew Schultz. He made a similar point, and it just got me thinking. In that moment I go, oh no, Ben thinks I'm just copying someone else. And the reason I believe that specifically is because he had one time thought that before. This is episode 175 of this podcast. We've covered a lot of things. And I used to cover Corey Feldman a lot. And so did The Bonfire and it became a very popular thing to shit on Corey Feldman. But I was in there a long, long time ago. Same as Aaron Carter. I was an early person trying to make their lives worse. And so at some point Ben mentioned that he thought I had been lifting material from Bonfire. I mean, he didn't say it in an accusatory way. I don't know how it came up, but it came up. And can you imagine something more embarrassing than, one, your older brother starting a podcast? That's a big problem already. Two, if he's just listening to other podcasts and copying bits. It's one of the most embarrassing things I've ever thought of in my life. And I suspect, I'll have to ask Ben about this, I suspect, though, that he might have, he might believe I thought of this idea from Red Bar, but this is not true. I've been talking about the Clean Shoe Comics, they're not clean comics, Clean Shoe Comics of LA, the Hassan Minhaj, the people that are obsessed with Jordans and just wearing not clean clothes, but wearing brand new clothes. It's where the designer mentality comes from, and it's very, very lame. And it should be the furthest thing from a stand-up comedian, in my opinion, because I mean, what are you doing there? Just go to a club if that's what you want to do. Just go show people. Go to a sneaker exhibit where you will love it. And they'll love you because you're there to appreciate their fucking shoes. Clean shoes, I mean, the whole concept pisses me off. I've always been annoyed by the Clean Shoe Boys, because it's not that I think it's bad looking to have clean shoes. It's that it's your shoe. It is bound to be on the ground only. It's the thing that must become dirty. Why make it a thing that you must have this clean? It's it doesn't make sense. It touches the ground constantly. Make your thing like a clean hat thing. Be like me, wear clean hats. And I could understand that kind of. It's the furthest from the ground. It's everyone's kind of volleying for who can keep their hat the cleanest. I can get behind that. But clean shoe stuff is man, you are fighting an uphill battle. This is when I was a child, I remember being really bugged by the idea that everyone was mowing their lawns because it was just going to grow back. It seemed like an obvious problem you have that you're choosing to continue. If you love the look of this, get AstroTurf. and never do this ever again. It doesn't make sense. The time, energy, money, gasoline. Like, think about if this country goes bankrupt because of, and they could maybe look back and go, well, if we hadn't spent this much money cutting grass, giving plants haircuts, maybe we wouldn't, the cycle of pollution and stuff wouldn't have gone that bad. But it's important to give your plant a haircut in the suburbs. Actually, it's mandatory. You do like legally have to. You'll get like tickets if you don't cut your grass and shit. It's very dumb. This is a racket, you guys. Get AstroTurf or get dirt. Get nothing. I mean, it doesn't make sense. Nobody uses their lawn anyways. They start renting their lawns out. This happened today too. Okay, so check this out. So how do I say this? I smoke marijuana. And that might be shocking to some, but I smoke marijuana, and I specifically though smoke it with tobacco. It has to be a spliff. I don't want to smoke straight green. I can't go that hard. I want a slow ride. So I specifically only smoke this brand, Top, which is, I've been told, is mostly in prisons. Let's bump this camera. I've been told it's mostly a prisoner-based tobacco. So that tells you the quality of it. And a lot of places in New York just stopped selling it because it was that low. But basically, I'm addicted to that specific kind. And I know a lot about it, okay? So I know specifically there's a crappier version called Super Roll of Top. And so basically, the smoke shop I've been going to recently got Super Roll, and I let them know, like, you're not going to sell this. It's not good. It's like the lowest tier of this low tier thing. And they were like, okay. And I haven't gone back there in a month. But I went back today, and they still remember me from specifically, I guess, that comment, because they haven't been able to sell it, and they started asking me, like, I'm the expert of Tops, asking me what is the difference here? Like, I'm the distributor who sold it to them, and I was truly shocked that they recognized me and wanted and needed more info about my complaint. But I was right. They didn't sell it, you know. They weren't able to sell this crappy thing. So I don't know why I wrote this down. I just thought it was interesting to be remembered on that level after not being in there for a month. I'm like, it's wild. Like, I'm just assuming they were talking about me every time someone tried to buy a top tobacco and they go, no, it's Super Roll. They probably go, that guy was right. That soothsayer, that tobacco soothsayer was right. They've been waiting for me to come back and help them realign their smoke shop. Okay, I've been meaning to talk about this too. This was maybe months ago. Months ago this happened, where I was driving around and I saw a homeless person kind of fucking with some pipe hanging off of coming out of someone's house. I don't know what they were doing. They looked like they're just kind of like, who knows what they were doing. I'm driving by, but I distinctly see this homeless person messing with this like rain gutter, this runoff rain thing. And then, like, I think it was the next day, I was driving past again, and I just see that the homeless person has disconnected this rain gutter, basically, so that it's just now kind of spewing out into the land. And it doesn't rain much here in LA, so I guess it's not a big problem, but it's been stuck in my mind, because every time I pass it, I think about whenever that homeowner comes out and sees that, whenever that would be, because it's just like on the side of your house, you probably wouldn't notice it for a long time. Whenever he does see that, there's zero possibility of him ever knowing how that occurred, how this pipe became disconnected. There's zero chance of him getting that info, because humans are just ants, like, coming around doing things, and you just never know. And that it makes me think of the song "Complicated Game" by XTC, because the lyrics are very similar, and it's just talking about the pointlessness of all, because you do something and then someone comes along and changes it. And that's just what it is. You're in a vicious cycle. And so I'd like to nominate this song, "Complicated Game," as at least one of the top 3 songs ever made, I think. And I'm dead serious about this. You guys go out there, listen to it if you want to feel deranged. Because it as a song, it makes you feel the thing it's talking about very accurately. Also, in listening to this, I just listened to it recently and was appreciating it, and then I remembered, like, this is a song from 1979, and I was raised listening to this, and I was just imagining having like a 3-year-old listening to this song is pretty funny. I appreciate it. I'm glad I was raised with it, but I do wonder the effects it might have had upon my brain. What else is going on, guys? Remember, I haven't been promoting this at all lately, but the Chris D'Elia lookalike competition, you guys got to get out there. It's coming up April 2nd at 9 p.m. And if you haven't heard me talk about it, it's a really important competition to see who in LA looks the most like Chris D'Elia. There's actually tons of people that do look like him, but we want to find who looks like him the most. And it's not, you don't have to be an actor, you don't have to be a comedian, you don't have to talk like him. It's nothing about his act. You don't have to do an impersonation of him. It's just visually speaking, who's the closest to a clone of D'Elia. We got to know as a podcast. I've been putting up these flyers. Legitimately, I've been putting up these flyers in LA and New York for about a year now, and I've been putting them up since the time pass of the competition. But it's annual, so it's going to happen every year. So, get out there, let everyone know the Chris D'Elia annual lookalike competition. Okay, I got some interesting stuff here. I got to get my my energy back, and there's one way to do that, and that's by looking into the cringe-topia given to us by Instagram/TikTok or all social media. So my brother Ben sent me this one, this is amazing, guys. What's this guy's name? Black Swan. And this is very funny. This was just like a little reel. I mean, he has a whole song with this, but this is just a little reel. Oops. This is real. It's crazy. I mean, the whole thing is like, it's clearly Jonathan Davis Korn based, but he's making, it's just a new level of obnoxious and absurdity, and these kind of people, I've noticed, when they get if they get any views online, it's mostly because they chronically repost their same videos over and over again. And I don't know why this isn't embarrassing to them to look at your page and see that you just keep reposting it, just hoping it'll get more views. And sometimes it does. I mean, I guess this is the game, but it's very embarrassing when I look at someone's profile and see that they keep reposting their same video. Very embarrassing. But check this guy out. It is pretty hilarious what he's doing. This, like, I mean, it's a Korn ripoff on every level possible. He's like literally wearing these Adidas tracksuits and doing this kind of scat thing. It's just like, oh man. Whenever I think back to this kind of era, for me at least, listening to Korn or System of a Down or any of these kind of atrocious bands, I'm so lucky I didn't live in an abusive household, because if you were listening, if you were listening to that, you would want, if your kid was listening to that, you'd want to hit them. How could you not? It's not wrong if you heard your kid listening to something like Korn and the complaints of Korn to go, all right, son, put your dukes up. Because this isn't going to work. This isn't going to help you. Trying to be dark weird is not going to help you. Or being obnoxious, neener, System of a Down going, this is not going to help. I mean, Disturbed is kind of the top, the final level of this is the highest embarrassment, sonically, vocally, like, you guys know. Let's not pretend we've forgotten the ooh-ah-ahs. But yeah, if you heard your kid listen to that, you'd be like, yeah, I do have to beat you. And then the cycle starts of the kid writes crappy songs about being beaten. The parents must beat you for writing these songs. And it's never going to end. This other person popped up in my Insta feed that was enraging too. It's always just the same thing though. It's these people who, no matter what their musical or art format is, the thing that they do most is just repost their same video, or it'll be a video of the same song with a slightly different music video or whatever. They'll just be sitting doing it. There's the real video, there's the 85 versions of the first verse we put out. And it's like, it's psychotic looking if you look at their profiles and just see like, this is crazy. This is the posting of a maniac. If they just keep reposting, Obama's a skeleton. This is a crazy person. But let's listen to a little bit of her.
Bitsy little part of me that wants more. Just kidding, it's a big one. This is Hello Kitty boots on your neck, girl core. Head banging like a kick drum.
I mean, nothing is anything anymore. It's like this person's brand is the colors pink and aqua blue. Like that's the genre of music she's doing. If you go like, I don't know what does it sound like? Oh, the music doesn't really matter. It's more about that I wear pink on this side of my hair and blue on this side. That's more of the genre. Maybe you don't understand current music. But yeah, check her out. What's her name? Sophie Powers. And I clicked on one of the videos where she's like trying to say something funny, and these are the kind of people that are like, you don't even have a voice. You're not old enough to even have a voice. I think this person is like 15 if you look at her. You're not old enough to even have a developed voice. You sound like stand-up comics when they're open micers and like they just don't have any confidence, and they just, I don't know. I'll say my joke and then there's nothing there because I don't. Like you've not developed into a human yet, and yet you're releasing your 8th album. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't like. I don't support you, Sophie Powers. I'm sorry. I think kids should be allowed to live their lives. They shouldn't have to be pop stars, okay? I do really think, though, that this world of TikTok music videos, homemade music videos, this type of stuff, this heinous, cringy material, I think it stems from. I think this could be like the outcome of their parents' generation, which is probably my generation because I'm not young. But we all grew up watching music videos. We couldn't make music videos. We watched them. So there's a fantasy element going on where you probably, as a young person, wish you could have done that, but you never could have done that. And so, like, the next generation, instead of getting smarter and being like, oh yeah, that was just a stupid fantasy, the parents of these children are going to Blink-182 concerts and believing this is serious, important art. So the gens are getting dumber and dumber, and it's not their fault, of course. If your parents go to Sick New World or one of these things and think that this is like, it's really going to see Thursday, I have to go. I'm flying out to see Taking Back Sunday, honey. You're gonna have to watch the kids. If you think this stuff matters and didn't get over the things of your youth, then your kids are going to be even more work. They're, of course, their only thing they know of value is to have a music video. If your parents love Blink-182, the only way to get their attention is to be the next Avril Lavigne or whatever their influences would be. But so it's truly not these TikTok kids' fault. I mean, I hate them, but it's not their fault. It's really the parents who still think music videos are cool. That's who I'm blaming here. We need to get rid of these parents. What else we got? Let's just stay in the music world. We're almost done. Let's take it home. I came across this last night, and you guys know me. I absolutely hate Coldplay, and not in a stereotype, not in like a Creed or like a everyone hates this kind of way. There's some Coldplay songs that were great back in the day, and I'm sure they could make a great song now if they. Or maybe I don't know. But I'm just saying, I hate them for a multitude of reasons, and I can't even get into it right now. I've covered them a lot, so we're just going to focus on this brand new thing they just dropped, a song called All My Love, and the music video is just following Dick Van Dyke around, talking about his life, and that he's going to die soon. Like, Coldplay is trying to capitalize on death. They're trying to market death. They're like, their last album was about the music for the spheres or some shit out in the space. Like, there's nothing left to conquer. What could we do? Oh, we could be associated with death. That's a universal theme. Like, it's truly that simple, and they're just trying to sell albums in the most broad sense possible. And they go, what? Love is something people experience. We could write songs about love. That's true, but not everyone gets to fall in love, sadly. But everyone does get to die. And so they go, this is a great idea. It's really, really disgusting and shameful and, I don't know what the word is, voyeuristic, disturbing. But let's watch a little bit of it. Here's Dick Van Dyke walking around.
Together, you got all my love.
Almost on key.
Yeah, I'll go up the octave. Ready?
God, I hate how Chris Martin is always holding his smile. He's Kenan Thompsoning. He's always pretending he's mid-laugh, going. I'm sure that someone somewhere, some guru has told him that makes you look younger or de-ages you to like hold a smile. There's some reason Chris Martin constantly is pretending he's mid-laugh when he's not. But okay, this video is disturbing. Like, also, why are you trying to get yourself associated with Dick Van Dyke? It doesn't, there's no relation here. It doesn't make sense at all. Everyone is jumping sharks so hard, it's hilarious. This is like the Robbie Williams autobiography that's him as a monkey. This is, although that will be better, that will be funnier. This is just like disturbing that you've talked this old man into pretending his life is your music video and making him say, what are you grateful for to be alive about? It's like disgusting. This is disgusting. This is the part I want you to hear. Okay.
The part I love is until I die.
Yeah, let me hold
They
you
can
if you
hold
cry.
you if you cry.
Yeah.
So beautiful.
Until I die, let me hold you if you cry.
Excuse me? Cry, die? You just rhymed cry and die? Guys, if you listen to this podcast, you know we stand opposed to the cry, die, fly, why, my sky rhyme scheme that has been used in songs since the inception of pop songs. And if you rhyme any of these words together, ever, you're a fucking idiot. And a loser. And a piece of shit. Every time I hold you, I cry, I die, sky. I mean, Tommy Lee, I don't know why, every time I fly, somebody wants to cry. You're doing what Tommy Lee did as a solo artist, Chris Martin. And and this old man is so old that he just said, that's so beautiful. I can't believe you came up with that. I also can't believe you came up with it because you didn't, because cry, die, fly, my sky, why. Guys, once the infection gets in your ear, you will hear it in songs and you will know how cheap those songs are, how shitty and cheap those songs are. Whenever you find these basic things that you go like, oh yeah, that is literally, I mean, there's no way to calculate how many times it's been used in songs. If you asked AI to figure out how many times this has been used in songs to trick people, AI would explode and you would ruin the future for everyone. So do not put that into ChatGPT. Wow. Yeah. Can you believe a grown man could sit there wearing like a tuxedo basically and singing every time you cry, it makes me want to die or anything like that it's unreal. It's unacceptable as well. All right. That's going to be it, you guys. We've got there. It's about to be the Christmas season. Maybe next episode will be the Christmas episode. Who knows, guys? Who knows how wild it's going to get? Remember, get out there, like, subscribe, all that stupid fucking bullshit. Send me money personally. Check us out on YouTube because, I don't know, it's doing a lot of work here, guys. Give me some credit. Okay, bye.